What's poppin', gamers? This is one of your esteemed hosts, Kelly, and we are welcoming a special guest to this week's podcast, episode 12 of the Nifty Cauldron. We are really excited. Again, we are so sorry for last week. What ended up happening is that the audio got some weird fucked up corruption thing, and hopefully we do a redo and it's just as good as the content that we curated before, because the last one was hashtag chef's kiss. But unfortunately, the technology goblins really fucked it in its butthole. And not only am I here, but also your other co-host, Finger Guns.
Milan. That was a long-ass intro, by the way. I liked it. All right,
fine. I'll just go fuck myself, okay?
I said I liked it.
Okay, good. So yeah, welcome to the podcast, Crystal. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I have had coffee, and that's all I need in my life.
Hell yeah. Also, if you don't know who Crystal... Yeah, exactly. If you don't know who Crystal is a amazing artist, a streamer on Twitch, a cosplayer, she really kind of does it all, TBH. She's kind of a jack of all trades and master of all of them as well. So, yeah, big ups, big hands to Crystal. You can also follow her on Twitch. We'll have that linked below, so you can give her a little follow. Her content is fucking fantastic. I'm throwing up the tight emoji, but you can't see right now. But yeah, Crystal, what made you get into streaming?
So I started streaming because I wanted to draw and have people see how I draw and paint. As an artist, I got a lot of questions online about my process. And honestly, it's just easier, instead of talking about my process, just to get on there and do it so people can watch. It's the best way to learn, honestly. So I started doing that, and I enjoyed the community aspects of Twitch quite a bit. So I expanded it to do video game streaming as well. So I think my community might be a little bit irritated because my drawing streams have all been replaced by Baldur's Gate 3 recently. But I'm normally an art streamer. But that's how I got started. And, I was watching video game streams a lot prior to starting streaming myself, as well as a few art streams. I like Twitch. It's nice to have on in the background, and then getting to take part in it and have my own community has been really rewarding.
That's interesting. So this is maybe not super related. I'm not too familiar with the art side of Twitch. How do you do you get a lot of trolls as far as that goes, or people just trying to trash your work, or trying to offer quote unquote suggestions, or is it just a lot more tight knit and friendly in that aspect?
So I haven't had any bad experiences with the art side of Twitch at all. Usually people just come in, they have questions about your process, what kind of tools you use, how you learned how to draw. Usually it's pretty respectful. Every so often you'll get someone in there making a request, but just say no, I'm not going to. Although I do offer some drawing requests for people who want me to draw something through my channel point system. However, you can't just request anything. It's a system called Badly Drawn Pokemon, and I'm good at drawing people. I'm really bad at drawing any kind of animal or monster or Pokemon, and so I do it from memory. So it comes out really, really cursed. But you can request Badly Drawn Pokemon, and they're horrible. And people will sometimes be like, "Hey, can you draw Danny DeVito as a Squirtle, or Steve Buscemi as a Slowpoke?" And it looks horrible. It's absolutely terrible. But yeah, you can make a request like that. But yeah, otherwise people are pretty respectful. They have some weird Pokemon requests though.
I mean, look, you gotta respect the Pokemon. Do you take regular commissions as well then, or is it just channel points cursed only, and everything else is just whatever you want to draw / for work?
So I sort of do commissions. Prior to COVID, most of my work was freelance for companies. But I currently do occasionally take commissions. However, my official stance is no, I don't take commissions. But if somebody comes to me with an email with their exact budget, everything they want, and they seem easy to work with, I will probably take their commission. But a lot of people are just hey, can you draw something? And I can't ever get the information out of them of what they want. So I just say, no, I don't do commissions. But
the easier route.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally feel that because, like that happens. And I know, that particularly happens with like me personally when I go and, you know, people find out that I'm a cosplayer and they see the stuff that I make. And then they're just like, oh, can you make me a Halloween costume? And I'm just like, I don't know. It depends. What do you want? And then they never tell me what they want. I'm like, all right. Then, or they tell me what they want like 3 days before Halloween. And I'm just like, bitch, I got other things, dude. So I definitely feel that trying to get information out of people for commissions is sometimes like pulling teeth. And it's weird because you're just like, I want to do the thing for you and then get paid, but then like they kind of don't follow up, I guess. I don't know. Life happens.
Have you ever gotten like proper like complex requests and all that, and then they hit you with, well, but my budget is like $30, you know, make it happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that happens all the time. And there's a lot of people too who are like, I'm starting my own card game, like Magic the Gathering, but I don't have a budget. But I promise you will get so much exposure. I'm making such a cool game, and once it's successful, we'll give you royalties. And it's like, buddy, if you can't afford to pay your employees, you don't have a company.
Yeah,
Agreed.
you have an idea at best.
Also,
You know?
stop paying people in fucking exposure. Crystal can't fucking eat exposure. Crystal cannot live off of fucking exposure. I can't fucking live off of fucking exposure. Stop trying to pay artists with exposure. It's fucked up, and it's basically extortion, in my opinion. So if you do that, lick a nut, suck my dick, stop listening to this podcast or something, but also don't, because, I don't know, keep watching. I'll call you a dick again.
Also, artists don't accept jobs for exposure or very low pay, because you're just undermining your future self when you could be making more money, because it just brings the whole industry down. Don't
lowball yourself. I say as I probably would, but that's irrelevant. So I don't know, because it's difficult, right? Because I feel like people who request art typically don't know the process, right? Oh, what's your hobby? You should do it for fun. It's just a quick drawing. It only takes you an hour. How dare you charge more than $10-20 kind of mentality? But it's like, no, bitch. Like they spent years learning that craft. It's not just, let me just whip up something in 30 minutes. It's like people are just very unreasonable when it comes to commissions, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and with my kind of painting style too, it definitely takes many, many, many hours to fully render an illustration. So, you know, you gotta be ready to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta there's a lot of fucking work that a lot of people don't realize goes into art.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with, like, you know, if you are like an aspiring artist and you're trying to do commissions and stuff like that, don't lowball yourself. Know your worth. There's not a lot of people out there that can do the things that you can do. So, you know, people come to you for a reason, and clearly they like what you got. So charge something that's worth your time. You deserve it.
Exactly. Because if they can't afford to pay something that makes it worth your time, just go draw something you want to draw until you get good enough where you're making good money. Or at least decent money.
Yeah, because it's like sad when you see someone break down certain commissions, and then it turns out they're making like $1 or $2 an hour. And it's like, come on, like your skill, your art, your craft is worth more than, you know, $1 or $2 an hour. Just be reasonable, up your prices, believe in yourself, you know?
I see so many people doing like $5 commissions, and I'm just like, no, don't do that.
I mean, that's fine if you spend 5 minutes on it, right? It's like if you can literally whip it out in 5 or 10 minutes, sure. I think that's okay. But I don't think that's the case, right?
Doing, though.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, come on. But it's rough, right? Because especially with the boom in like Twitter and Patreon and the internet in general, it's become a lot easier to find artists. So people are just always afraid of like, well, if I don't do this, then they're just going to find someone else. But so I think it's very hard to let go of that idea that that's okay, you know?
Yeah. But you got to, believe in yourself
Mm-hmm.
and know that your own work has its own value.
Yeah. Because, even if you a blanket statement that everybody can learn art, it's still, you're drawing a one of a kind for someone, or you're creating a one of a kind for someone. Even if your skills aren't the best, or if someone could do something similar, like you're drawing that one unique piece for that one person.
Honestly, though, I wish the Renaissance, like the way the artists lived in the Renaissance came back, where it's like, oh, I have a patron and I can just draw whatever I want, or draw like religious fan art, or draw like some political guy that my patron doesn't like as like a little naked butt demon. And like you just got all your expenses taken care of. Can we bring that back? I want to draw people other people don't like as butt demons.
I mean, what's stopping you?
I know.
I need a
the night is
patron.
young.
Anybody who just wants to pay all my bills and I will just draw your worst enemies as butt demons, I'm in.
All right. So if
You're
you
their
want
first
to
boys.
see, if you want to see your demons as, or want to see people that you hate as butt demons, reach out to Crystal, become her patron. She will paint them in just gorgeous details.
Gorgeous detailed butt demons.
Yes. Reach out to her below, or comment on the podcast and we'll forward your information over.
We won't, but you should check out her Twitch and all the other social media anyway, if you want to become that said patron. You won't regret it, promises.
I do actually have a Patreon, but it does not involve butt demons, unfortunately.
But it could.
It could. My newest fear, butt demons.
There you go. Perfect. Put it in. Someone will buy it.
Yeah, just put in that there, that pledge, or whatever Patreon calls it. Is there so someone again who's not into the art world? What made you get a Patreon? Is it just because it's difficult otherwise to make money off of the art scene, or you kind of feel obligated, or was it a plan from the start?
I mean, being a freelance artist it's a hustle. So you got, your professional clients, you got private commissions, you got art prints. Usually, you're doing like online sales as well as convention sales, obviously not right now. But Patreon is just like another way to add to your income, because it's not like you just do one thing, you're just kind of doing it all. So it's just like, it's a way to get a little extra income directly from, people who want to support you and people who they like your work, and they want to give you a little extra beyond just buying prints, and they get to see like early access stuff and process stuff. So I mean, it's a good way to like have a community, I guess, like an art community where they can support you and check out your work. Really, it's like having a medieval patron, but it's a bunch of people, and like most of them I would assume are not like balls ass rich, where they can just like be like, here's like all of this money to draw my enemies as butt demons. Instead, it's just like, hey, I like your work, keep it up.
Yeah. Does it ever get overwhelming to juggle so many different websites and social medias and different communities and all of that?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. That's a lot of fucking shit. I know that you're hustling really hard, and like it seems just really draining.
It is really draining. I won't lie. Like, it has been pretty difficult, especially right now. I'm not seeing my friends regularly. There's not really like, because of COVID, there's not really the opportunity to go out and do things that would normally like get my mind off things, I suppose. Like, there's no vacations. It's just like every day is the same. And yeah, it does get draining trying to manage my online stuff, my Patreon, my Twitch, and all that, and social media. I hate social media, so I'm real bad at that. But yeah, it does get draining. I would say it's usually better when like I don't have to focus so much on the online side of things. So when there's conventions, I can focus more on that, and it's less stressful despite all the traveling. But yeah, it is a hustle. It is quite a bit of hustle.
Yeah, I mean, So I know that you go and I've seen you at multiple conventions selling prints and hanging out and stuff like that. Like what's kind of the process with packing all your prints? Like especially if you're going to like a con on like the East Coast or something, because West Coast, Best Coast. But if you're going to, go to, yeah, exactly. So if you're going to go like to a con like across the way, like how do you go about packing and like, what happens like with your prints that, potentially get damaged and stuff during like the traveling process? Like I've always been super interested about that.
Yeah. So first of all, fly Southwest if you want to do like Artist Alley. You have to have enough bags. What I do is it's like a lawyer's rolling briefcase, but it's meant for 11 by 17 papers, and like that's the size of my prints. And so I have this large lawyer's rolling briefcase that I keep my prints in, and it is my carry-on. So when like I can't go to the gym right now because COVID, but normally I'm actually going to the gym and working out my upper body as much as I can, so I can lift this massive thing that weighs like 50 pounds over my head to put it into the overhead bin because I have to take it as a carry-on. And then as far as everything else, I have a setup that I keep in a duffel bag. And it's like a photo backdrop stand. And so that's one bag that I take. And then my second bag is a suitcase. And in that I put all of my pins, my table display stuff, my print book, any sort of smaller merchandise, as well as, my clothes and like toiletries and everything for the weekend. So it's a little rough when you're going to the East Coast for sure. Or like anywhere where you don't have friends who can help you with your stuff, because carrying 3 bags that all weigh, 50 pounds each, it's a lot. But it's doable. And Southwest is the only way to do it really affordably. So I recommend Southwest.
Yeah. That second bag flying free really does help you out. I also highly recommend it for people that are going like across country and are doing it for like cosplays too, because what most people do is that they put their armor pieces and their cosplays into like Tupperware like bins, and then they seal them shut with like tape, and then that's how they transport like their armor like across states and stuff like that. I think that's what I think Chad and Sammy do specifically for Dragon Con and the other cons and stuff that they go to over there. But I heard that works very effectively. But yeah, there you go. Good to know. I've always been curious about like, I'd be so scared, of like, the prints getting damaged and stuff. But, the lawyer's briefcase is pretty God gamer calculated.
Yeah, it's great because it rolls, so you can just like drag it behind you, because that much paper gets really heavy. But I also have like a thicker paper stock, I would say, than probably the average print you would buy at a convention. So it holds up better. But I don't really have an issue with prints getting damaged usually in transport. So,
all right, that's the God gamer move right there. 10 out of 10, patented. If you get a lawyer's rolling briefcase and you take it and you use it to store your prints, you owe Crystal $20.
Yes.
She inspired you.
Also, it comes with the added effect of people will think you're a lawyer at the airport. And you're like, no, here's my sexy Fallout man pinup. Would you like to see the law of the sexy man? No, people ask me if I'm a lawyer. It's like, no.
Are you a lawyer? It's like, have you taken the time to talk about Final Fantasy X? And you just like take out a print.
Have you heard of the Genova's Witnesses?
Ew.
Take my pamphlet.
Speaking about the prints, though, as a non-con goer, like I've been maybe like 3 or 4 cons in my entire life. From an artist side, like do you have to print your own prints? Do you go to a print store? Are you ever afraid that you printed too many or too little? Like what's that whole process? Like the whole prep for the con? What does that look like?
Yeah, so I have a local print shop that I work with, and they print everything for me. I do occasionally do like special edition prints that I print myself because I have a really nice printer. But yeah, usually I get them ordered. As far as quantity, You kind of have to guess. It's always better to have too much than too little because you can always sell your excess at the next event when there's events, not so much anymore. But uh, so it's not terrible if you order too much. It does suck if you order too little, and it turns out to be a very popular print at events. And sometimes it's not predictable. Sometimes you'll have a print that nobody cares about at most conventions, but then you'll go to like one convention and everyone's just like hog wild over it. And in that case, usually it is a scramble to try to find a print shop that's open near the convention area and try to get them ordered. You can usually do it on your phone, but sometimes it's kind of a nightmare and you have to make sure it's decent quality. So it's always better to print more if you can physically carry it, as many as you can physically carry.
Do you ever follow trends? Like, oh, this show got really popular, like this anime show or series or video game. I should make a couple of art pieces in preparation for the con, or is it just you draw whatever?
I don't recommend doing that. The reason why is trends are hard to predict, and it's hard to predict how long they're going to be around. So, like, let's say you have hot new anime, just say Dragon Ball Z is new. Wow, everyone loves Dragon Ball Z suddenly, and obviously it's a classic. But let's say it wasn't. And you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to draw Goku and Vegeta and all these characters and make prints. Well, by the time you do that and the convention that's several months away comes around, then you get there and suddenly they're on to the next new thing. I don't know. Sailor Moon.
Sure. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess I meant more like, let's say if there was a convention next month, would you like potentially consider like drawing cyberpunk stuff? Because obviously that's going to be a big thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be a big thing. I don't know. I don't usually do that. No, unless it's something that I really, really, really like, then I won't. Like if it's something I don't care about, but I know it's really popular, I probably won't mess with it. I've actually found what the best sellers are for me is not trendy stuff. It's series that people hold in their hearts for a long time. So for example, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, Final Fantasy, like those are the ones that sell well for me because people have a strong emotional attachment to it, and I do too. And like I can really put that love into the pieces that I make for it. And if you're just whipping out something really quick, and you're not really putting that love into it, it's going to show. So
yeah, I agree with that. I feel like if you're just trying to mash it out and it's not something that you actually give a fuck about, it's going to show. And again, not to like tie this back into cosplay, but it's the only way that I relate to this art conversation because I'm not an artist. I don't think what I create is very great at all. But I mean, when it comes to like my costumes and stuff like that, if I'm just making something to like cosplay with my friends or whatever, I'm just kind of like, it's missing a few details, but it's fine. I'm just going to end up getting drunk in it anyways, kind of thing. But if it's actually like a series that I give a fuck about, like I will pour more into the details and I'll just be like, it's fucking hemmed like a millimeter off, and I'll like my eyes will turn into like cybernetic optics and I'll like go in and like realize how off it is or something like that, and I'll try to fix it. I'm not too nitpicky about a lot of the details specifically of my costumes, but I do notice when I like or I love the thing that I'm doing or the thing that I'm creating that I will spend way more time with it because I love it and I care and I want to pour my heart and soul into it because I want to make it good. So I can definitely see how that would translate specifically to an artist thing. And I think it's really commendable that you're not doing what everybody thinks is popular and that it's just going to like sell and that kind of like bullshit. I think it's awesome that you're sticking to the things that you love because ultimately like it's what you love, and you should do what you love. And if art's what you love, then you should be drawing the things that you love. And that's just my, you got to do what gives you life, bruh.
Yeah. I'll even add on to that. I think it also shows the confidence, right? That you're confident in your own abilities and skills that you don't need to hop on trends to make money, right? Like, people. So yeah, I agree.
Trends can also sometimes backfire too. Cause you get like every artist at the artist alley drawing the new hot anime or video game or whatever. Then it's like, well, you're competing against everybody else suddenly. So just do what you love, you know.
For sure. And like specifically, so for me, I love Fire Emblem, and I've always really had a strong attachment to Fire Emblem, especially if I decide, like, usually every game I usually have like that one character that I'm just like, yeah, this is best boy or this is best girl kind of thing. And, you know, like I have my pairings that I ship and stuff like that. So for me, going into a convention, and mostly when I like am piecing together an Ito bag because I'm trash, I'll be piecing together my Ito bag, and I kind of like Dragon's Horde start like, you know, pulling together all the different merch and stuff like that. It's kind of nice to go into, you know, when you go to a convention, you do happen to see like an artist alley and you're like, oh shit, well, I'm looking specifically for like Leo Corrin merch from Fire Emblem fucking, from Fire Emblem. Like I'll go and I'll like try to find it. But then, you know, like ultimately it is the quality of your work, because if like someone drew a keychain and I don't necessarily like the art, like I'm definitely not going to buy that. But it's like, do I go through and find every single bit of that pairing that is possible inside that fucking goddamn artist alley that I like that art, and do I buy it? Absolutely. So it's like, if people are diehard for the things that you're creating, things that are so near and dear to like your heart, you know, kind of thing, then like if you draw it, they will buy. It's kind of like, I don't know, Field of Dreams, but with like anime pussy.
Exactly. Unless you like really, really unpopular characters, then like I like my favorite characters from like video games tend to be the least popular. So I'm just like, I don't even do it. I'm just like, fuck it. Nah.
Name a couple.
Yeah.
My favorite characters are, from Mass Effect, for example, are Javik, who is a DLC character. And my favorite Dragon Age character is Sten. Not popular at all. It's just like, I don't like the popular ones. I'm just like, give me the ones that nobody cares about. I'll take them.
You'll show them love.
I'm like the orphanage for unloved characters.
So, in your orphanage of unloved characters, basically what you're trying to say is that even your taste in characters are low key cryptid.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I am a cryptid, and I seek out other cryptids. So,
Yeah. So for obviously, because the last episode doesn't exist. We discovered that Crystal is a cryptid because she does some fucked up shit, in my opinion. just gonna say it out there. Like, no, you know, no offense meant, but she knows specifically.
It's fucked up. It's to the point where I've been having to try to fix it.
So, Crystal, do you want to share with the world how you read books?
Yeah, and this is how like I've read books since I was a kid. And I don't know why I started doing this, but I will buy a book. I'll be very, very excited for it. I'll read the first couple of pages, like not even the first chapter. And then I'm just like, cool, I'm going to skip to the last 5 pages and read the last 5 pages, see what happens, spoil myself, and then go back and read the rest of the book. Speed run any percent books.
Yes. So it's shit like that got her the title of Cryptid in the last episode.
It's really bad because, you know, I don't want to be spoiled. I try desperately to avoid spoilers, but then with books, I can't help it. I'm just like, oh, what happens? Oh, wow, this character that I don't even know like existed has murdered this other character. Oh, wow. And it sucks. So I try to listen to audiobooks because I can't do that as easily.
So because of your cryptid nature, it's been haunting me ever since last week.
Good.
So I'm curious about some things. How do you eat your cereal?
So you pour the cereal in the bowl, and then you put in the Diet Dr. Pepper. I actually don't eat cereal anymore. I used to eat cereal, but not so much anymore. I just don't.
All right. So, I mean, at least it didn't say like water and then I add ice for the crunch or something like that, you know? There's people that do that. They eat cereal with water and it's like, that's fucked up.
See, I don't know if this is better or worse, but I've met, like, I know at conventions, like a lot of my friends will eat cereal with rum chata instead of milk. Just get fucked up for breakfast.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense because it still has a milky consistency. It just has, you know, a little bit of rum and a bit of spice in it. So, I mean, I don't find that weird.
No, it's weird. It's a little fucked up.
It's definitely weird. No, it's definitely weird. No. Yes, it is.
Nothing is sacred when you're trying to get fucked up. Okay, nothing is sacred.
So just drink it normally after your cereal. Don't combine the two.
Yeah.
Okay. I just brain blasted. I like Jimmy Neutron fucking brain blasted right now. Rum chata shooters, where you make a shooter kind of like, you know, like oyster shooters or like that kind of stuff where you're like eating something, but there's also something else in it. But it's rum chata, and then at the top there's like a Captain Crunch like garnish or something. Don't steal my idea. No one steal my idea. Patent pending.
Or do, because I don't think anyone wants to steal that idea.
I think they do. Okay. One, you underestimate my power and my ability to try to go hard when I want to get fucked up. Two, I think there is a market for it. Because think about it. There is a market for the milk and cereal bars. Now it's just a milk and cereal bar and a chocolate that gets you fucked up.
Wait, what if you just took your cereal milk and then you just added some rum to that and then you drank that instead of trying to eat the cereal with the alcohol? Like you have your appetizer of the cereal, you take your cereal milk, you put some rum in there, and then you have tasty alcoholic cereal milk. That's also kind of fucked up.
Just have Irish coffee like a normal person. That's it. Just put some rum in your coffee and or just drink it straight up. Like, you don't have to mix it with your food. It's fine. You know, people are judging you anyway if you're drinking in the morning.
Hey, alcohol in food is good. You know, you put some wine or some vodka in your pasta.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
With sweets, you have to be careful.
Yeah, like I'm specifically talking about like cereal, you know, and as a breakfast thing.
At the same time, it's like sweets and alcohol has kind of always been a thing. I mean, look at the fucking the vodka gummy bears or the rum and gummy bears, the rummy bears. Like that's almost like a staple.
You're right, and then also putting alcohol on your ice cream is pretty tasty. I think what I have a problem with is cereal specifically. I don't want to have cereal with alcohol. It's like the crunchy alcohol. I don't want it.
I think cereal might be somewhat sacred to you, and to me, it is not. It is just a way.
I love cereal, so I would never do that.
It is an avenue for me to get drunk. If I can find a way to make it happen, I will, kind of thing. So I think Milan, I think you treasure cereal a little too much. I think cereal is not sacred. You can definitely pour some fucking straight up. I've actually eaten just Captain Crunch and then just took rum and poured it on top. Not milk, no milky consistency, just rum and Captain Crunch. It tasted fucking terrible, and it was at a con party, but we did it.
That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Very fucked up.
I never said I was a fucking role model.
I mean, at like ALA, like you got people like getting drunk off of scope and shit. So
okay, I don't do that. I also don't drink the fucking, like, I also don't get fucked up on cough syrup, like, because codeine is a slippery slope, friend. You can get addicted to that.
Yeah, but I would not recommend it.
Yeah,
please don't.
I've never drank scope.
No,
I've never drank scope. Who the fuck drinks scope? If you drink scope, dox yourself. Dox yourself in the comments.
I'm pretty sure you know people who drink scope because I know people who drink scope, and I'm pretty sure you know them.
Oh no! Okay, well, we maybe have to have a little kiki afterwards because I'm low key. By low key, I mean high key interested on who this person is.
Speaking of drinking, though, just in general, what's your stance on drinking orange juice after brushing your teeth?
It's not good. I don't like drinking orange juice in general, usually though, because I don't like stuff that's from concentrate, and it's usually from concentrate. But you definitely don't want to have it after you brush your teeth because then it just tastes weird.
Damn.
See, this is where
Cryptid.
Okay, that's where Milan is a cryptid.
I asked because I was hoping I would finally find a partner in crime. I love the taste of orange juice after brushing my teeth.
Okay, you can't call me a cryptid if you like that. That's weird.
Listen, no. Like, listen, your book thing outweighs everything else. Like, it doesn't matter what else I do.
Does it?
Yeah, absolutely. All
No.
right. Let us know in the comments below. What is worse, drinking OJ after brushing your teeth, or speedrunning any % books by reading the last 5 pages?
Or
Okay, no.
Eating cereal with just straight rum as milk.
Oh,
I think all
shit.
three
Now
of us
I'm
have
getting
to
brought
do.
into this.
That's yours. Yeah, everybody gets the one. Which is the
I
worst?
honestly,
Let us know.
out of all of those, I would think I would put speedrunning any % book at the bottom, because there's a lot of people out there that don't want to become emotionally invested into a book, and they find out like their favorite character dies, so they might go and read the last 5 pages just to make sure that like the ending is it's going to be a happy ending, so then they can read it and not get fucking depressed. Or they have anxiety and they want to know kind of like, you know, from what at least the ending you'll get here, and they want to figure out, you know, the in between is fine. And there's a lot of people out there, like I would even say like low key, I mean, look at it. They have a whole website dedicated to does the dog die? And in every single movie, that has a dog, somebody uploads it or updates it and lets you know if the dog dies or not. So you can watch the movie without knowing that the dog will die. I did that recently. I watched this movie with like, it was not good. It had Keanu Reeves in it or something like that. And they had a little French bulldog.
Wick?
No, because the dog does die in that. It was someone on Netflix. It was someone on Netflix. It was called like Knock Knock, and it was weird because he like fucked 2 women.
Oh.
It was weird.
Where is that where like 2 little girls come visit him and like tie him up and shit like that? Yeah, that was a very mediocre movie.
Yes, it was not a good movie. But
he directed it himself, like from start to finish. Like he did everything. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, then for like doing it all by himself, it's not a bad first try. But for me, I saw the fucking little French bulldog. The little French bulldog's name is Monkey, and I dead ass went to, does the dog die? And I looked up to make sure Monkey did not die before I watched that movie, because I would not watch the movie if I knew that Monkey died.
That's just, I think that's different though, because I think that's more for people, because I do that too, because I'm sensitive to animal death and all of that, so I don't want to see that. But I don't read books to know who dies or who lives. I just read books like backwards because I'm impatient, and I'm just like, what will happen?
Well, at least you know the reasoning behind it. You're just like, I'm just impatient. I just want to fucking know right now, you know, kind of thing. And for me, it's the whole, I have a big soft spot for animals. People equal shit, but animals are forever. So I have a very soft spot for animals. And so for me, like having that website is like a fucking perfect, amazing resource. Whoever created it, I love you. I would love you forever. Maybe we can get married someday. That's how I feel about it. But like, I'm even sensitive to like when an animal, like, okay, I'm going to give you a scenario. So I started playing Baldur's Gate 3. Hell yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. Finger guns at Crystal. Middle fingers at Milan.
Why at me? Hello?
Because you said you had no interest in playing it because you're weird.
Yeah, and then I said maybe I'll be interested after we play Divinity. Don't preemptively drag me. Like drag me after Divinity if I'm still not interested.
I don't know. I think we can drag you because you don't like Mass Effect.
Yeah, I'm already dragging my balls across your face because you don't fucking like Mass Effect.
I mean, listen, I can't help it that I have decent taste. Okay.
You can taste my mass erection for that game because it's fucking good. So fuck you.
Don't fucking try to me with like a good time here, Kelly.
So I was playing Baldur's Gate and I realized I could like summon a familiar. And so I was using the sound of the familiar to like kind of goat those little brain dudes, you know, little brain dudes that can't see anything, but they do everything by sight and sound. And so I summoned a cat because I was like, I'll just put the cat over here. I'll make it meow and then I'll shoot them while they're not paying attention to me. And that was my way of solving that battle. However, I didn't realize how fast those motherfuckers could run. And then they killed the cat. And I was just like, no! And then I reloaded my fucking game because I couldn't deal with the fact that the cat died.
It's funny that you say that because that was yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday when I was playing, I went to camp. And I have a dog at my camp. He's really cute. His name is Scratch. I love him so much. He'll play fetch with you. He's a good boy. and I accidentally summoned a giant tentacle monster, and it just walked over and blasted Scratch into a burnt crisp. I was so upset. I had to reload. So I understand.
I would reload.
Yeah.
110% I would reload.
Baldur's Gate follows D&D rules, right?
Yes.
For the most part,
So
yeah.
for future reference, if you summon a familiar and it dies, it just respawns 24 hours later. It's never like permanently dead. It doesn't die. If that helps for anyone listening.
I heard it fucking scream.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And then I was like, I'm out. Reload.
I get
this.
it, but I'm just saying for people, like maybe that's a comfort to some people. If they like maybe they didn't save recently, right? Maybe they saved like 2 hours ago. I don't know. But by D&D rules, your familiar dies for 24 hours and that's it. It's never permanently dead.
I would suggest too, for other people sensitive, there's the option of summoning, instead of like a cat or something cute, you can summon a spider or a crab. And then if the crab gets blasted, then you got delicious lunch.
Dude, I fucking love crabs. Don't try crabs like that.
Crabs are tasty. Well, you're like, oh no, crab, but also your leg.
Yeah. Bon appetit kind of thing. And I totally get that. You've never had crab?
Oh, they're so tasty.
They're so fucking good. There's a reason.
I've always wanted to, but it was either never on the menu or just too expensive. So I've never had crab in my life.
Yeah. It's expensive, so I don't get it often, but like it's good.
Yeah, there's an Italian pasta dish that they literally call like frutti di mare, and it's just fruits of the sea, because that's how fucking good crab is. It is the goddamn fruit of the sea. It's fucking good.
I
really want to try crab.
It open.
Yeah, you just crack open the leggy, and then you just give it the slippery slurp, and then like you have the little leggy at the end, and then like a little bit of crab juices at the bottom. You just go like,
hell yeah,
hell yeah,
hell yeah,
hell yeah, dude. That shit's so fucking good. I ended up actually summoning a rat later because I found out the rat moves faster than the cat does, and it has a bite attack. It's so weird because the cat did not have a claw attack, because typically cats do. Yeah. It didn't make any sense, but the rat had a bite attack. It was 1d4 plus a chance to infect because of the nasty ass teeth on it. So I summoned a mouse instead, or a rat instead, and I named him Mr. Cheesers. And I did that fight scene again with Mr. Cheesers, and because he could move faster, it was fine. And then I was able to kill it, no problem, great. And to this day, Mr. Cheesers still lives on.
So what you're saying is rats are the real apex predators, not cats.
Yes. Rats, in specifically Baldur's Gate 3, rats are peak performance.
So in D&D terms, in specifically 3.5, cats, for level 1 character, cats are the most dangerous thing you can fight. Mm-hmm. Because I think by default they have like 17 or 18 AC. So you're just not gonna hit them, and they have like a multi attack. Like they have like 2 scratches and a bite, I think.
Mm-hmm. 2 scratches and a bite.
It's always hilarious. I not to go on a tangent, but I had a party wipe to a cat once because one party member just saw a cat and he was playing an asshole character, so he kicked it, and the cat murdered everybody.
Sounds like a typical cat, though.
Yeah, but it's just because of how stats work in D&D, 3.5 is not balanced. So the fact that, a 1-to-1, the cat is just the most dangerous thing you can fight as a level 1 character is hilarious.
Yeah, that's actually incredibly accurate. And I've heard that kind of horror story happen before, where, you go down in the cellar and you try to kill a couple rats or whatever in the cellar for like your first quest, and the rats end up killing you. That has happened as well in one of my D&D games. But I had somebody in my chat last night come in and try to tell me that 4th edition was the best edition. And I was just like, are you drunk or high?
Did you ban them?
No, I didn't ban them. But I did very strongly pop off on them. And then I think that they left.
Good. You should give me their names so I can ban them in my chat if they ever come by.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm sorry. Like, when you're a gunslinging robot in D&D, like, oh, fuck you. Like, fuck that game.
Yeah, I mean, like basically, fourth edition tried to be an MMO, but failed hard. And they know it. Like that's why fifth edition came so quickly after fourth edition.
I think
they know they fucked up.
and stuff in D&D is funny, but
It's
I
fine, yeah.
wouldn't like it in a serious campaign. I think it would just be too weird having that with the high fantasy.
Yeah, just one, like, it's weird having like a fucking fantasy setting, and then you just have like that one fucking guy that happens to just really just nut all over steampunk, and they're like, I made a robot, and just like,
yeah,
dude, like, fuck off, just fuck off, just literally fuck off. You're ruining the immersion of this.
Be a golem or something, you know, like something that's like robot adjacent,
or
that fits the scenario more.
Be like a sentient fez hat.
Sure.
Make your own fucking crazy ass shit, but do not try to steampunkify my goddamn setting, dude. Like goddamn it.
If you want to do that, don't play D&D. Play something else. You know, is my advice.
Yeah, I agree, and 110%. Crystal, you play D&D as well, right? And I understand that you have some campaigns going on, and I've seen you draw your D&D character on stream. She's gorgeous. Tell us more.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy with how my artwork for my character is. Her name is Sidra. She's a druid, and she normally looks really pretty, but I got a hat of disguise, I think it is what it is. It's a magical item that lets you look however you want. So I've actually spent the last few sessions looking like Danny DeVito.
Nice. Anyway, I started blasting every combat.
Well, I use Eldritch Blast, so whenever I'm like, Eldritch Blast, I'm Danny DeVito saying, anyway, I start blasting, and then I blast. It's good. It's great. I love it.
Iconic.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. But yeah, my character is kind of a shitty person. She's a druid, but she's like kind of a scam artist. So she sells essential oils. She has like an MLM business. And so, yeah, she scams pretty much everybody. She's like the party troublemaker. But it's a good time. It's a very good time. We're heading back to Phandalin right now to check in on the town because we wound up romancing the main villain, Nesnar. And now he's good, I guess. But we're going back.
I've never followed official lore, so I'm lost when you talk about that stuff. I always just played custom campaigns built from the ground up.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is like one of the default campaigns. But we're going back to see how things are going there. And that's pretty much it. I'm Danny DeVito, and I love it.
It is great.
So fucking funny.
That actually reminds me of a story. Again, back to 3.5. I forget the exact numbers, but I think a ladder was 1 silver, but a pole was 2 silver. And there was a story of someone that broke the economy. He would literally buy a ladder and then just take it apart, so you would have 2 poles left, and then just sell them back. And the DM couldn't stop him, you know, because he just did that in every single town, and he just kind of broke the ladder / pole economy, and it just made me laugh. Just, it's genius, but I loved it.
That's
and your MLM reminded me of that story. Thank you for that.
I might see if I can do that. Get into the ladder business.
Do it. Break the game.
I think they changed it since. I hope they changed it, or that a DM will actually just go, you know what? They don't want to buy any more polls. They're good. You know, they have enough polls in this city. But yeah, it's great to like always hear, because everybody that plays D&D has an anecdote or a story or something that happened 8 or 10 years ago even, and that it's just always a good memory. And D&D is great. I love D&D. I miss D&D.
Yeah, it's been really fantastic playing it. This is my first campaign I've ever done, and I never played D&D before because I never had a group of friends near me to play with. And then the pandemic hit, and my friends from all across the country were like, "Hey, let's just play online." So I'm really enjoying it. It's been giving me something to look forward to every week during the pandemic when I can't see friends IRL. And we have like a fun group too, where it's like we take it kind of seriously, but then we'll do like goofy stuff too. So it's like it's fun. It's not super.
I mean, you're
that's
motherfucking Danny
how it's supposed
DeVito.
to be.
Yeah, I am Danny DeVito. I feel like Danny DeVito, you know, he's okay in fantasy. I mean, in Hercules, he was a satyr, right? So
Yeah, he's fine. He's great. No, but I feel like that's how it's supposed to be played. Like when I played, for us, it was easy. When we were in character or serious, we talked English. But if you wanted to just dick around or comment, we just switched to Dutch because we were all real life friends. So it was very easy to distinguish for us. But I don't know, like I personally prefer playing online over real life. I think it's like smoother when it comes to like pulling up maps and art and you know, adding music to the scene. You can also like exchange notes quicker with your DM if you want to do something while he's narrating. You don't have to like write on a piece of paper and slip it to him.
That's
But
true.
mainly, it's easier to role play when 4 people or 5 or however many aren't like dead ass looking at you all around the table. You know, it's a lot easier to role play over Skype or whatever voice you use.
I don't fucking have that problem. 1, but 2, I definitely agree with you that it's easier to pass notes and stuff through, you know, having like a DM. I've only played online like once, but I really like the experience. I definitely want to do it again. But I typically play in person. But the biggest thing for me, at least, what really grinds my gears, what really burns my ass, is when I'm fucking playing D&D and you're at somebody's house, and then just dead ass, like you're having an exchange and things are kind of getting epic, and then like you look over and you got that one person just on their fucking phone, like checking out Instagram, and then like they go and they watch somebody's story, and then there's music, and then that like erupts into the room. I have a family member that when we would play D&D, they would be notoriously bad for that, and it made me just want to go over, like grab the phone across the table and like crack it in half, because I'm just like, we're playing now, kind of thing. Versus like if we're online, I don't fucking know what you're doing, I don't fucking care, and you can just mute yourself.
Yes.
Well, we have each other on camera, so we do see what everyone's doing. But it's like when you're browsing the internet, you're still looking at your computer, so no one knows.
Yeah, it's kind of like not that big of a deal. It's fine. You want to read a little fanfic on the side. It's like, I'm not really gonna know or whatever, but it's like, that's like my biggest motherfucking pet peeve right there.
You know what? You know what also
fanfic
grinds my gears. Fuck. You know what grinds my gears too? In D&D, if you're like doing combat and you know eventually it's someone else's turn and they've had like 15 minutes to like wait for their turn, and then it is their turn and they're like, and they don't know what they want to do. That's when they start like planning which spell they want to use or what they want to do. It's like, dude, where have you been the last 20 minutes? Like, did you just check out the moment your turn ended? Like, what happened? And it's just, come on, man, like keep it going, you know?
Yeah, just that's why like the things that take the longest is literally combat, because you always have that one person that's not really paying attention, and then it gets to be their turn. They're like,
and it's always a spellcaster that has to like then browse through his entire spell library because they don't know what they have or what they want to do.
Yep.
And it's like you had 20 minutes in between, you know, your last turn and this turn to do it. Like, why didn't you take a little peek in the little book of yours, you know?
Just to know on you know, just crack open your tome, give it a little read, figure out what the fuck you want to do. Yeah, that shit definitely pisses me off. But there is something else I wanted to talk to Crystal about.
Ooh.
And that's because when we last recorded this podcast, it was right on N7 Day. And we were both really fucking hype because of how basically they not only announced that there was going to be a new Mass Effect game, but they also fucking announced that they were doing a remaster of the previous 3 trilogies. Or sorry, the trilogy. It's kind of like almost like Star Wars at this point, the trilogy. So I don't know about you, but I'm like incredibly hype, but also low-key salty because I recently rebought all the fucking games, and now they're just like, we're doing a remaster, and I'm just like, fuck.
Wait, when did you rebuy the games?
I rebought them like I don't know. I probably rebought them like a month, maybe 2 months ago or something, because they were on sale. They were like $2 or whatever.
Oh yeah, because I don't know if you've been following the rumors, but there's been rumors since like the beginning of the year that they were doing this.
Bruh, I did not follow the rumors because I have one brain cell.
I have one brain cell, but it is solidly in BioWare's video games. That's all my brain does. All it does. Yeah, like I'm really excited. Ever since I heard the rumor, I was like, wait, is this really happening? That's very exciting. And then, there'd be like a new rumor like every week about when it was coming out. And they did turn out to be mostly true. So when they finally announced it, I was wagering that they were going to announce it on N7 Day, like actually wagering it, and I was right. So I'm very happy. I'm very excited. I was not expecting the new game, though. That is something that I was not expecting.
Yeah, I also wasn't anticipating a new game because of how everybody else kind of like shit canned Andromeda, even though Andromeda wasn't even that bad, guys. Like, fucking calm down. Like, de-stress your breasts. It wasn't even that bad. Like, chill out, dude. But I was actually surprised that they announced a new Mass Effect game, but also really excited because I just want to fuck a lot of aliens. TBH, oh, yeah. I just want to fuck all the aliens.
So I watched the little voice actor thing too after the initial announcement. They had like the voice actors get together and they talked and everything. And one of the voice actors towards the very end was like, hey, so to the writers, have you guys ever thought about putting in additional content or DLC for more romances or content for the characters? And everyone started hushing him like he was breaking NDA or something. So I'm wondering if for the trilogy remaster, maybe we're going to get a new romance.
One, that's something that I would fucking love. Main person I would like to fucking romance, fucking Zaid.
That's a good choice. That is a good choice. I would romance Zaid.
He's not an alien, but I would fuck that old man, dude. I'd fuck the shit out of that old man.
His voice actor sadly passed away.
Yes. I think didn't Thane's voice actor also not doing so good? I think he's had like some health problems. Is he? Okay, then maybe I can't forget.
I think Captain Bailey's voice actor is not doing well.
I knew one of them wasn't doing well and one had passed away, and I know Zaid's voice actor passed away. But I mean, do I want them to keep it the way it is to honor? Yeah. But at the same time, if you give me a little bit more dialogue, or maybe I bang an old man in that fucking weapons hall, that's cool.
Yeah, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
I want to romance Javik. I have a Javik body pillow. Oh, I don't have it here. I'd show you. But yeah, I have a Javik body pillow. I stand that angry Prothean boy.
Deep down, it was really the friends and the sex we had along the way in Mass Effect.
Hell yeah. Bang some aliens. They just need to have a Mass Effect dating simulator. Or just like a bunch of aliens you can bang.
Yes, 110%.
Like Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, isn't that basically
Oh my god. No, that was an action game, and then there was a brief hint of romance and stuff like that.
No,
but
it's like it's a dating sim with like action elements. Come on, man.
We don't want the plot. We don't want the action. Just give us the dating sim.
We want the porn. The plot's great, but also
I disagree there. I don't want to see Garrus naked. Don't want that. I know some people.
See, I'm the opposite. Do. I'm the opposite. I want to see that freaky shit.
I have one fear, and I'm just like, I don't know what's there.
Probably something
ruin the fantasy.
I want to see it. I want to look into its eyes, man.
How many tentacles do you have?
Yeah, dude, it's probably like gonna be. Have you ever seen like a duck penis? It's probably gonna be like a weird duck penis where it's like weird and like wiggly.
Another reason.
Duck penises are super fucked up, and they're like an evolutionary mistake, dude.
They're like a corkscrew.
Well, they keep evolving because like ducks is an endless battle, right? Like the females evolve their vaginas so the male ducks can't fuck them. And then the ducks evolve their penis so they can still fuck the female ducks. It's super fucking weird. It's been an evolutionary thing for millennia and it's fucked up.
It's sex because ducks are really cute, but then their whole sex life shit is so cursed. It's like, I don't want to know about that.
Kind of is. Same with pandas. Really sad. Pandas have a hard time banging because I guess like the male pandas, like their dicks are too small.
Oh, I mean, that's not that cursed compared to ducks. That's just unfortunate, you know.
Ducks. Okay, yeah. Like if you thought about like a weird Like if you think about like on a scale of fetishes, like the fact that like bear penis is small is just kind of like pretty something vanilla. Like that's somebody telling you like, oh, I'm into like light choking. You're like, okay, that's normal, whatever.
Sure.
But then when someone tells you about the deep lore about the duck penis, that's like on a level of like vor. That's when like the fetish, you don't understand it and you're kind of like, what the fuck? But then you're also kind of like,
No.
you make a series of faces where you're like, but they're gross, they're disgusted faces, but they're not faces where you're just like, yeah, that's kind of hot. They're all faces of just like pure disgust and worry. That's vor.
Like real addendum real quick. If anyone wants to like in the comments explain vor to me, I know what it is, but I never got it. I don't get it. If anyone wants to, I don't care if it's anonymous. I don't know if you can leave anonymous comments. Please do. I'm really interested in from a vorist perspective.
Yes, same. Explain vor to me. I don't understand, but also
like I know what it is.
I'm intrigued.
But I don't get the appeal. You know, like I don't get it. So please explain.
There's a character in Baldur's Gate 3 that's kind of into vor.
Yes, there is.
It's very
spoilers,
very
no spoilers, but yeah, I saw that and I was like, that's vor. And then you were like, yeah, that's vor. And then we had dox yourself if you like vor, or dox yourself if you know about that character in Baldur's Gate and you agree with him and thinking that's vor because it's vor.
I think it's vor. Especially when it was like a full life statue. Like, come on, that's vor.
Yeah, that's vor. Just unhinge your jaw and just guzzle a rock. It's vor. But yeah, we're coming up on the ending timing of our podcast. We touched on some pretty different content in regards to our conversation this time around versus the last time around. Still had a wonderful fucking fantastic time with you, Crystal. Thank you so much for taking the time to come out and re-record this with us. Yeah, come back again. My bad. The Redux.
Back again.
Yes. So not only did you hang out last week, you came back again, and now you heard it here, folks. She's willing to come back another time. So
I guess preemptively, if this audio fucks up, see you next week.
I got nothing going on. Pandemic time, so yeah.
I'm gonna lose my mind if it fucks up again.
Yeah, I mean, we made changes.
Problems for a third time.
We made changes.
Yeah, there's also another backup if this fails, but I don't think this is gonna fail. This is just me making the joke. Please don't fail.
Really hope.
Please.
I really hope so. I really hope it doesn't. Like, please stop hurting me. But yeah, thank you for taking the time to come on the podcast. I appreciate you. It's always wonderful to spend time with you because I miss you very much, friend. Because Crystal and I are actually IRL friends.
I miss you too.
Oh, thank you.
So they say the vaccine is coming out soon. So maybe one day in the future we can see each other once more.
Yes, I would love that. But thanks everybody for tuning in. That's going to be the end of this particular week for the podcast. But come again next week and we'll have some new content for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, fucking alien, tell us about vor, and look up a duck penis because it's fucked up.
Don't look up a duck penis, but do tell us about your favorite cryptid of the tree. Like, I still want to know that.
I think that you're the worst.
No. You're the worst with
wow,
the brushing of the teeth.
That's just fucked up. All right, dudes. I get it.
No, because you're the only person that I know that does that. That likes that.
It just means you need to get to know some better people.
I think you need better flavor profiles in your life.
Yeah, I think your tongue is fucked.
My nose is fucked, so maybe that's partially related.
I think what it is, I think you're just like, this is such strong flavor. Like, this is clearly the epitome of flavor. It is a very strong flavor.
Like, I just like it because it's a very distinct and strong flavor.
Have you tried orange without toothpaste?
Yeah, so it's still good, but it's just orange juice, you know?
I don't even know what to say.
It's fucking wild, but yeah, that's kind of been the end of the podcast for this week. Thanks for coming. Crystal, if you want to plug your social medias, do it.
Yeah. Wait, do I say them?
Or we can just put them in the link below. But you could say, your Crystal.
Oh, okay.
Buffet
Give us your shout outs, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to follow me, see what I do for streaming or my artwork or my cosplay, my username on pretty much everything is Crystalvfae. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Come hang out. My content is super cursed, but I also do some really nice fantasy artwork. My streams are kind of cursed, but they're fun.
They're incredibly fun. You should definitely go check it out. But thank you, and have a great day or night, evening, whatever the fuck. Happy Thanksgiving. I don't know.
Goodbye.
See you next week.
Wait, when's Thanksgiving?